at the intersection of I-70 and I-75. Its backbone are the new domestics, the supply chain that's around it, with a small jump around the city of Dayton, which gets honorary membership in Detroit. And it was also an area that before the recession hit, we saw product and production in the parts industry returning from the southeast up to Indiana and Ohio because of the quality of the work. This is going to survive and this is going to grow. The third major cluster is the southeastern states along I-75. Folks, if you don't have a plant that's somewhere on this corridor, it's targeted for extinction. The newly plant in California is closed. The only thing that's keeping the St. Paul, Minnesota plant going is the Ranger truck is there. As soon as that truck is out of its life cycle, it's going to close. And my assumption is that most of the Missouri plants are going to end up closing. So what we have is a just-in-time network within 250 miles of these OEMs' auto supply chains that's going to really drive those four clusters. What we've got now is a productivity and a product war across those four clusters to see who's going to survive. Now, the argument that I make, and I've been making forcefully now for 2 years, is that the culture of the way in which parts are sourced is changing the geography of this industry, but in a way that works to Ohio's advantage and Michigan's disadvantage. Ford and GM still like to design the car themselves, put the part out for an electronic auction, and bid the part for lowest delivery to the factory. Toyota, Nissan, and Honda like to have their parts producers sitting and sharing the bench with them, and they design the part for lowest life cycle cost, not lowest delivered cost. What makes Ohio an exciting place is that Honda has a 500,000 square foot R&D facility in Marysville where that sharing of the bench takes place, and Toyota has a very large R&D facility just outside of Kentucky, in the northern Kentucky airport, where the same thing takes place. That means as Nissan, Honda, Toyota gain market share, the R&D facilities for the Tier 1 and Tier 2 parts suppliers have to come closer to where they share those benches. It just makes business sense. So part of what I expect to see is Detroit as the dominant auto capital of North America is going to go into sunset and decline. It's still going to be there. It's still going to be important. But it's going to be shared with another center of the auto industry that's going to locate somewhere between Columbus and Cincinnati. If we ignore the future of the North American auto industry, we'll lose the chance. If we embrace it, we can go and we can win with it, because that's where the value-added part of the vehicle is going to come from. There's a fourth part of the industry in central Mexico. It was originally built to supply the Mexican and Central American market. It then became a platform for old domestic companies that were trying to flee their contracts. I believe that Mexico is largely going to stabilize going forward. And in fact, some investment's going to pull out of Mexico because of narco-terrorism. I was talking to engineers who had just come back from a Mexican assembly facility. It was supposed to be one of their good ones. And they said it was, this is interesting. And they said it was frightening to be in a van with bodyguards, and that's not exactly a business-friendly environment. So we will, as people talk about the Mexican adventures, all you good economic developers, wish them luck, give them Kevlar vests. It's the best thing you do to promote your location. Now, Ohio's economic performance, yes, a lot.